Welcome to the Uptown Parlay podcast. You got Ace and Malik.
What's going on, man? What's going on, everybody?
We are back just in time for March Madness, NFL free agency, and much, much more. Hopefully, y'all have been following along with our picks. I've been posting on our Instagram, our threads, and still on Twitter somehow in that hellscape that is the Twitter world. But we are here with you, giving the people what they need to hear from us. NFL free agency.
Absolutely.
What's been the most exciting move so far that actually went through? Not to not mention Max Crosby you traded and then getting traded.
I don't know if I could say exciting. I could say the most like shocking move that I would say that went through. The most shocking move I'm still kind of shocked by was the whole Tua situation in Miami. Was the whole situation, the entirety of it,
Getting the
right?
money
Tua getting released, getting $99 million in cap, dead cap
over 2
on
years.
Miami's books over the next 2 years, $54 million this year. Then him signing a 1-year, prove it deal basically with Atlanta, a situation where, I don't know that he's more talented than Michael Penix, or I would say that at the very least, Michael Penix is a lefty quarterback just like him, probably has a better throwing arm than him. But has similar injury concerns, injury issues or whatever. And we're not sure if Michael Penix is going to be available at the start of the season.
Correct.
So I would have thought that maybe there would have been another opportunity for Tua to find a starting spot. Like, there would have been a place. Right. But then Miami turning around and then signing Malik Willis to a 3-year, $67 million contract, which I don't know if I feel like Malik Willis is that much better than Tua. So it's he can run, and look, he can run. He probably Tua he definitely has a stronger arm than Tua. Like, we know Malik Willis can really sling the ball or whatever. But in terms of like being a franchise leading quarterback, what do we really know about Malik Willis to this point? And I'm not saying anything wrong with Malik Willis. What do we really know about him to this point to be a guy that you're going to, hitch the futures of your organization to? So like that whole thing, just in a nutshell, is like you get rid of Tua. You eat all this dead money on the deal that you have to still pay the guy because this stuff is guaranteed. And then you pay a guy who's about as unproven as a starting quarterback as the guy you let go. Like, that to me is
actually, I would say Tua is more proven.
There you go, right? Tua is a more proven has been a more proven quarterback than the guy that you're bringing in to replace him, and you're paying $60 some odd million over the next 3 seasons to kick the tires on Malik Willis as a starting quarterback. So I just don't know what Miami's doing at this point, and that was the biggest shock to me.
You don't see them signing the Malik Willis. I think was the best free agent quarterback they could get without giving up a pick. So in my opinion, it was getting him. He's healthy. He's coming off of learning in a system behind Matt LaFleur, who is good at coaching quarterbacks, and he played well in when he had to step in and start, and in a reserve role. So like, at least this guy has started before. Maybe the Tennessee situation wasn't the best, so his career is on the rise, and Tua is going in the opposite direction. But mainly, that's due to the terrible things that he said to the media last year, and like him just not performing at a high level and them not winning games. And really be in the middle. But if Malik Willis comes in and wins 8 games this year, the odd part is that the Dolphins are completely in a rebuild mode, whereas they went all in with Tua and they never got a playoff win. So if Malik Willis can just win like 8 games, they'll take it. But if he's terrible, if he sucks, right, completely, because there's nobody on the roster who can block for him, because nobody on that offensive line was any good last year. They're not coming back. And that means you luck into the first overall pick. So win-win. That's how I look at it. But he was the best available free agent. Either him or Kyler Murray, in my opinion.
And that was the one that I was thinking of. Why not wait until Kyler Murray got released and then see if you could sign him? Because to me, Malik Willis, at the very least, Malik Willis is not as good as Kyler Murray. I wouldn't say he's as good as Kyler Murray.
He's taller.
Right. A lot of guys are taller than Kyler Murray. I think everybody's taller. Tua is taller than Kyler Murray. But at the very least, there's a proven element to Kyler Murray that you don't have, and you would have the same situation that Tua is walking into right now, because Kyler Murray was signed, he's been released, he'll get money, and he'll be able to come in on a relatively low deal, and then if for whatever reason, and to your point, like if you were to wait for Kyler Murray and Kyler Murray were to sign with you for the minimum, becomes your starter for 1 year, if he's bad, no harm, no foul. You're still gonna be trash, and then it's a great quarterback draft in 2027. But if you're trash this year, you can't cut Malik Willis and eat another $40 million in dead cap space to try to go draft, Arch Manning or whoever. That's what I mean. Like,
I think his grandfather would get involved again and be like, he's not going to Miami.
So I just feel like the opportunity to, reset things. Like, to me, if you're gonna do this, like what Denver did with Russell Wilson, you know what I mean? They reset it. They said, hey, we're done with Russell. They went straight into the draft, got Bo Nix, right? That's what you do. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's the thing you do. And that's why I'm like surprised that instead of doing that, they just doubled down and paid Malik Willis all this bread.
They guaranteed him $35 million over 2 years.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Already giving up 99.
It's a lot of money to us, but Tua's only guaranteed 1 year. So the $33 million he's not actually getting, it's just counting against their salary cap. Because that's
so he's getting like 54.
Correct. And then whatever else he gets out of Atlanta. Which is funny to me, because now they have two injury-prone quarterbacks, but different parts of the body. One from the shoulders up, head injuries, and the other guy from the waist down, his knees don't work. Oh, I'm sorry, he got a bad leg. And they're both under the age of 30.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Jones pulled the heist in Indianapolis.
True. Well, is that the one that's most surprising to you?
Yes. Because
really?
Malik, they went from leading the AFC as the 1 seed in week 10?
Yeah, they were 8-2.
To not making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear what I just said?
Which they can directly attribute to him getting hurt.
Understood. But had he stayed healthy, you're telling me they're going to the Super Bowl against the Seahawks? It's the Indianapolis Colts versus the Seahawks?
No.
So then why
I'm
are
not
you
saying
giving
that.
him? So then why are you giving him $80 million?
What I say is, I would say I'm surprised if I didn't see it happen before with the Giants.
I would
say literally happened 3 years ago with the Giants, or 4 years ago, whatever that was.
We're gonna go get any other quarterback but this guy. It appears you just need a dude who can run. Okay, Malik Willis can do that. He can throw 20 to 25 passes a game and run and hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor the same way he did to Josh Jacobs in Green Bay. Maybe I'm making too much sense, but like, he'll take $30 million a year. As a matter of fact, he'll take $35 a year for a 5-year deal. We'll only have to guarantee 2 of them. So you can get up out of here.
I think Daniel Jones
knows how to coach.
I think Daniel Jones gets the benefit of when I was healthy, and when I was healthy leading this team, we were one of the best teams in the AFC. Like, not even just one of. We were the best team in the AFC for a long stretch of time.
For 2.5 months.
It's safe to us. Right. And so it's safe to use that as evidence to say, you need to keep me here. That's it. Whether
for
or not
$45 million a year.
And whatever the cost is, because he's they franchised him, but they didn't want to pay him the franchise money, so they had to work out a deal.
I would have gotten any young quarterback who could run. Malik Willis would have been the guy. It seems they just need a
in
mobile
Indy.
quarterback to run the system. And Malik Willis is super accurate down the field, so I don't know.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't think I would have paid Daniel Jones either, but I don't know that I think that he had the best leverage with Indianapolis, which is why I said of
My question
anything.
is, where else was he gonna go?
I don't know. But that's what I mean. He could have went back to Minnesota. There was talks about him going back to Minnesota.
And probably used
Um,
them as leverage. Alright.
there was talks about it. I mean, there probably could have been talks about him in Miami or whatever. Like, where were the situations where there were quarterback required in a weak draft? That was the
Yeah.
reality situation. If you need a quarterback in this current draft market, you don't really have many options to go with. And if you're the Indianapolis Colts and you let Daniel Jones leave, you're
Mhm.
one of those teams in a weak draft market that needs a quarterback. So you got to pay the guy to stay here. And
Fair.
that is what it is. So
I've
I don't
been
know. I just
I've been impressed with I'll sorry to interrupt. I've been impressed with what, Robert Saleh has done overall with Tennessee. They have a real
in terms
team
of like the peep picking up
building
the
a
guys.
legitimate team on both sides of the ball around Cam Ward to see this guy won 3 games with nobody to throw the ball to. Calvin Ridley is still there. They got another number 1 wide receiver. They didn't get a running back. I don't know. I haven't been following who they signed for running back, but overall, they built a defense. They have an offense. Let's see what the kid can do. He's got Dayball. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean what they got the
They're
guy
my
from the
dark
Giant,
horse
Wandell
candidate.
Robinson.
Yes.
They got Wandell Robinson from the Giants. They picked up a lot of players that they got over the course of the just looking them up now. Tennessee. Yeah, so they got Wandell Robinson. They got 2 tight ends. They signed Mitchell Trubisky as the backup quarterback. And then
Good vet.
they really went in on the defensive side of the ball. They got a linebacker, an edge, a safety, 3 corners.
Solomon Thomas, I remember, and some other jet. Switch up the system
Yeah,
that Salah
so
wants to run. Yeah. They built an
I
entire
mean,
roster out of a team that was, like, atrocious last year, and they have all their draft capital, so still pretty good.
mhm.
And I'm
Yeah,
impressed with the depth have actually built a team. Geno Smith on his way back home.
that was
Let's
probably
see
the
what he
most
can do
surprising.
with a coach who cares.
Not that they got Geno Smith, but that they traded for him. Geno Smith was gonna get cut. Like,
What did they
I
trade
don't
for? Didn't they trade a
like a
7th round
6th,
pick?
like a 6th or a 7th,
Worth it.
but it doesn't matter.
Worth
It
it.
doesn't matter. If you would have waited, like, an extra 6 hours, Geno Smith was gonna be available. It was
Yeah, he might not have
but
gone to the Jets. He might have gone to
Gen
Minnesota.
where was he going?
He might
Where
have
was
gone
he
he
going?
might have gone to the Cardinals.
Okay, then yes, then Geno Smith, he's not the belle of the ball, okay?
Hey.
It's not like he leapfrogs Malik Willis as the number 1, draft pick available, free agent available,
I
and when he gets
mean,
cut.
I don't know.
I mean,
I did find it interesting. The Baltimore Ravens getting Hendrickson, giving up less makes sense to me. They have a good pass rusher. They let a lot of guys in that defense go, but they kept the guys they thought were important. And they stole the Bears. No, Nashawn Wright. I don't think he went there. He went somewhere else. But a lot of the Bears players left. Some of them went to the Pats. Some of them went to the Jets. Some of them went to the Bills. So that was kind of interesting. The Bills finally got a good safety. So maybe Patrick Mahomes won't throw over the top of them again in the playoffs, but we'll see. He'll come and
yeah.
destroy their new stadium. What's the new stadium called?
Ooh, the Bills?
Yeah.
Which new
What's
stadium?
the sponsor? Is it Highmark again or is it
It's probably
Healthy
still Highmark,
Turnstile?
but,
I remember when I was going to school up there, they were named after like a cable company. No, it was Rich Bread Baking Company, actually. That's what it was. It's probably gonna be New Era Field. They're the big company up
Yeah,
there.
no, it says the new stadium will also be called Highmark.
So
So it'll
Highmark,
still be Highmark Stadium.
that should
Yeah.
be interesting. All right. But the biggest move I think is the Tennessee Titans have built an entire team. I know it's not super sexy to talk about because it's not a bunch of top picks, but like it's kind of a big deal. And also the Buffalo Bills decided, oh, Brandon Beane's wrong. We do need a number one receiver. Let's trade with the Bears. And they got one for a price that they could accept. And they're going to try to actually make a run at this so they don't keep disappointing Josh Allen and get him someone who can actually catch the ball in the clutch.
Oh no, I would say okay. I don't disagree with you there.
Although AJ
I think
Brown
the
has not
best
yet been moved, so we will see what happens. I think they want a first round pick, so I don't think he's going anywhere until they come up off that.
I would say the best move was probably the Kenneth Walker to the Kansas City Chiefs. It's
Really?
probably the best move.
That solves a bunch of problems for them?
It definitely does. I mean, if you watch the best running back on the Kansas City Chiefs last year was Patrick Mahomes.
No, Pacheco.
He was the best run, but Pacheco wasn't playing.
He was
Pacheco
hurt,
was
but
hurt.
he had like 800 yards.
He was hurt,
like
and he was coming back from that. He was coming back from that broken leg. So to me, Patrick Mahomes was running for his life almost, consistently, and the Chiefs were fourth worst in rushing yards per game, second worst in yards per carry, and second worst in explosive run rate in the league last year. They were abysmal.
Where did Kenneth Walker III finish last year in yards in the top 20?
Let me just see.
Yes,
he didn't have 1,000 yards.
Guess off the top of your head.
Where in the top 20?
Where in the top 20 did he finish?
I'd say towards the bottom.
Okay.
But again, he was.
They gave him $15 million a year.
But here's the thing. About Kenneth
Giants
Walker.
Didn't want to give Saquon.
But here's the thing about Kenneth Walker. He split carries in Seattle.
Yes.
He split carries in Seattle, so we knew that.
Yes,
Charbonnet was getting, I think Charbonnet was actually getting, they said that Charbonnet was getting 55% of the carries. So he was getting less carries than Charbonnet.
I'll tell you exactly how many carries.
But he did the most. He did the most with it when he got the ball.
Correct.
So to me, it's not about how, to me, it's not about how many yards he had, because of the fact that he was definitely in a timeshare situation. It's about how many explosive plays was he able to generate as a running back for his team.
Fair.
And for the Chiefs, I think
221 carries, 1,027 yards.
Who's that?
Kenneth Walker.
Oh, Kenneth Walker. He did 4.6 yards per carry.
4.6 yards per carry.
That's 5 yards a carry. That's really good.
Yeah, a lot less. Yeah, he did exactly what he did his rookie year in 2022, except he had more touchdowns that year. Every year he's gone down touchdowns by 1 or 2.
Yeah. So if you just up his carries from 220 to let's say 270, what are you looking at? At 4.6 yards per carry, give him 50 more carries.
Okay.
So what's that number look like?
He'll have 1,200 yards. He'll be Christian McCaffrey. Except he'll only have 280 yards receiving.
Yeah, so you'll get a 1,200 yard back with Again, we're talking about with Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback with that offense.
It makes you drop your safeties, so you have to bring somebody up. Worry about that. 7.
That is absolutely a potential home run for them. He's not Saquon Barkley. I'm not giving that up.
Is he David Montgomery?
I think he's as good as David Montgomery. He might be better than David Montgomery. I don't think he's a better receiver than David Montgomery, but he might be as good a runner as David Montgomery with a full workload. Yeah, I could see that. I could absolutely see that. So I think I think that's the smartest move, because it's a team that needed a player like him. He's got Super Bowl He's got a Super Bowl pedigree.
Yeah.
He's got, the opportunity. Now he's got his money. He got paid, and he's going to have the opportunity to continue to play in big games. And he's proven his ability to play big games in big moments. And he carried that Seattle team in that play in that Super Bowl. So Not for nothing, I think that was the best move for a team that absolutely needed to fill that position. You got the best player at the position that was available,
Yeah,
um,
they had the
as
money
a
too.
result. Yeah.
But I wonder what's going to happen with Tyreek Hill. That's the most interesting thing to me because he will be healthy by week 4 of the NFL season from the ACL. Like, I know his knee got shredded, but he will be healthy. He will be able
I
to. Well, he will be able to resume like practicing. They said by like July or August because he'll be 7 months out from then from an ACL. But I don't know what other ligaments he tore in his knee. To be completely honest, I know it was a pretty gruesome injury though.
It was. I think it's gonna be dependent upon what he's willing to take. If he's willing to take a one-year deal with a team that gives him an opportunity to, rehab his situation and rebound, and maybe he's not himself for the first, you know, 7 or 8 games of the season, and he bounces back, and he's the best version of Tyreek Hill towards the end of the year, then, I think that there could be definitely a good market for somebody like him. But um, if he's looking for anything other than that, he's looking for long-term stability, if he's looking for, some guarantee, like, big guarantees in his contract, then I would be surprised if he gets, more than a glance from NFL teams, other than like just to see what he's got and bring him in for a workout. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. It is kind of interesting. Um. Oh, Travis Etienne signing with your Saints. Kind of surprised they
Yes.
paid that much for him, considering Kamara is still on the roster, or is Kamara a free agent?
No, Kamara's still on the roster. Um, but Kamara's obviously a bit older and has been, um I won't say he's still been effective. I think this helps. If anything, I think it helps.
Crazy when they say he's older. Man's born in 1995. It's crazy to
Oh,
me.
he said he's older.
Yeah, he's
In
30.
in NFL terms,
Yeah,
in NFL terms, Alvin Kamara is an older player. Um, but yeah, I think he's got he doesn't have a lot of money left on his deal. He's 31 right now, and he's got a cap hit of 10 million. So like, and he's an unrestricted free agent next year. So you give him an opportunity to play a bit of a hybrid or shared role. And yeah, I think this works out perfectly for him because I don't think Travis Etienne is a bell cow, number one back. And I don't think at this current stage in his career, Alvin Kamara is. But I think if you put those two together, you got an opportunity to always have explosive running ability and the ability to catch out of the backfield, at any given time. So I think that'll help Tyler Shuck and the rest of the offense. So yeah, I'm good with him.
all right. And next we are moving on to my favorite topic of the night, Bam Adebayo's 83 points. 83 points. And I think this is more a plight on or a black eye on the Washington Wizards. I think they need to go back and change their name to the Bullets again, just to show some extra toughness, because that was the softest performance I've ever seen on defense in my life. They were going out of their way, calling timeouts, fouling him, as opposed to just double teaming him. They should have started that in the first half when he had 31 points in the first quarter. And all he did was
Mm.
just be aggressive and basically go to the hoop. Sarr had a block on him. Sarr hit a couple of threes. He played well, but they should have attacked him more, and they should have attacked him more on defense because he's their best defender, which is why he was on Team USA in Paris, which is why he's so integral to that team. But yeah, man, shout out to New Jersey and Bam Adebayo getting it done.
So
Dropped 83. He took a bunch of free throws because they were hacking him all the way through the fourth quarter. People forget
yeah,
he had like 17 free throws in the fourth quarter because they were hacking him. But he had 61. He had 61 or 50 something points at half. He had 70 points with 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It was insane. It was one of the most impressive things that I got to watch. I caught on to it about halfway through the third, and they said he had 60, and I just tuned in. on League Pass, and it was a good watch. What do you got to say?
See, I agree with everything that you've said up until the fourth quarter.
Why?
So I went back. This has happened. I happened to go back and watch a replay on YouTube of Kobe's 81-point game, and it wasn't a blowout. Matter of fact, the Lakers were losing for a large portion of that game. It was against a really good team, and it was a really good Raptors team at the time. And it was a game that mattered.
That team was not good. That team lost 55 games that year.
Well, then they were a better team than this team, than this Washington team. But it was a game that in the sense of when it played, it's played like it mattered. If you watch that game, you watch the way it played. I'm not saying that Kobe wasn't going for his. He definitely was. But this, when it got to the fourth quarter, this felt like it felt worse than it felt like a high school game. That's what it started to feel like. It degraded itself from an NBA game with professional basketball players, professional athletes, and it felt like a high school basketball game where you've got one player on the court who's going for a big number and everybody just kind of feeding him. I'm old enough to remember what's the young's name? I think it's Deshaun, not Deshaun. Is it Deshaun Stevenson? Scored 100 points in the game.
DeJuan Wagner.
I'm old enough to remember.
DeJuan Wagner Jr. is in college now, which makes me feel 1,000 years old because he was in college when we were in college. Because I think we're like a year or two older than DeJuan, or maybe the same age. Scored 100.
I'm old enough to remember when DeJuan Wagner.
I'm
old enough to remember when DeJuan Wagner was in high school and scored 100 points in that game.
Yeah.
And what that looked like. I remember seeing videos of what that. I didn't obviously see that game. It was a high school game, so I didn't see it in person or anything like that. But I remember watching videos of that and I remember seeing what that looked like. Guys getting out of the way, guys, purposely feeding him the ball so he can get the shot off.
Doing what they can. That's
defense just be non-existent. And it was almost to the point where it was like, really? I get it. Yes, he's close enough. He's going for this milestone, and that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it just felt cheap. And that's what the fourth quarter of this game felt like. The first half, I was kind of like you. At the beginning of the game, I think I was watching. I can't remember which game I was watching. I might have been watching Spurs and Celtics. I might have even watching something else. And I saw a message pop across on my phone. It was like he had like 43 at the half, and I was like, "Whoa, Bam's going for a big number." 43. I was, I started scrolling looking for what the Heat career high or the franchise high was, because I remember years ago, like Glenn Rice having like a 41-point game or something like that. And I was like, yes, I was like trying to figure it out.
At like 60, it was.
Yeah, and I figured like, okay, LeBron played there, D Wade, Lonzo Mourning, like somebody had a big game. So I started looking into that way and thinking to myself, okay, maybe he can get 60. Maybe he can get 60, 65. That would be cool, whatever. And then when he got to the end of the third and he had like 62 or something like that at the end of the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, he's that's good. That's a good night. He got 62 and they're up like 17. I was like, that's a great night. He's good. He's good. And then I turned onto the fourth quarter and I started watching the foul fest and the missed free throws on purpose. And I was just like, really? I was like, don't make this. If I was Bam, I'd have been upset because I'm like, yeah, don't cheapen it. But don't cheapen it. It's like when Brett Favre laid down and let Michael Strahan get that 22nd and a half sack,
as opposed to what Myles Garrett got this year where he earned it.
Yeah, like make me earn it. Like, dude, as bad as Washington is, make me earn it. Make me earn the game.
I don't think you can legitimately counterpoint. I hear what you're saying. Washington's just terrible, and that's loser behavior, and that's what loser behavior does. It breeds loserness in you. That's what the Wizards have done. That's why Tim Bontemps, thank you. I combined his name with the Longchamps brand. Tim Bontemps, who calls them the Lizards because he replaces all their W's with L's. Because that's what they do. They're trying to lose. And when you breed loserness into you like that, this is the kind of defensive effort you get. They're the 29th ranked defense in the league. The only team worse than them is Utah. So you know what I did? The very next day, I bet on Karl Anthony Towns to go over 35 points because his high score is like 60-something that he did with Minnesota, and they lost that game, but his teammates were feeding him the points because he got hot in the first half. Washington
Did he go over 35 last night?
No, he got like 27 points. He got like 22 points and like 14 rebounds and just took it easy because they were playing Utah, so they just sleepwalked through the game and beat them by like 24.
What's his name? Well, they almost lost. I mean, they were down like a lot. But what's his name had a really good game? Clarkson. I think he had like 27. He had like his.
He went in and he lit up his former team, and they said, "Go do you." But the Knicks were never down in that game.
Ovation and stuff too.
They were only up by like 8 points. But back to Bam. There's no ethical way to get over 80 points. Once you get to 70, that's kind of it. You should come out the game. But the sad part is, Norman Powell wasn't playing, Tyler Hero wasn't playing, and Andrew Wiggins wasn't playing. So all of the other scorers were not playing. That's why he shot so much. When Will scored 100 points, he was playing the third string center, and his team was feeding him the ball. And he hit 28 of 32 free throws. This man is a 52% career free throw shooter, Will Chamberlain. There was no 3-point line. So he got 28 of his 100 points from the charity stripe because they just kept fouling him. And he was like, who cares? And then the guy he was playing against was like 6'10 and like 240. And they have a radio interview of him talking about, I was fouling him. I didn't want him to get that record on us. It was embarrassing. And that's how Alex Sarr should feel. This is now on you because you were the opposing center and you're the number 2 overall pick.
But see, I disagree with that.
How dare
that's
you?
the thing.
Be better.
But see, that I disagree with that because that's the thing about this to me. There's so much controversy around this 83.
It's only because he passed Kobe and people love Kobe.
I get that. What I'm saying, but here's the thing.
Because this is what Kobe would have wanted. If I'm beating him by 50, I'm gonna beat him by 100. Mamba mentality.
This is the record-setting score that I don't think anybody's gonna want to like. It doesn't taste right, you know.
How? But really though, how? Because it's against a terrible team.
No, because of the way it happened.
Oh, because of all the fouls in the fourth quarter?
Because of the way it happened, all the fouls in the fourth quarter. That's what I'm saying. It didn't feel legit. It felt like a gimme.
It's not like the NFL. There's no ethical way to do this. It's not like they're setting the rushing record in the game where you get like 312 and it's like,
no, there's an ethical game now. Look, this is what I say. This is why I don't have a problem with Miami. Like, I could be like, okay, he's got 62. We need to get how much points? He needs to get 83. He needs 16 or he needs 19 points.
Yeah.
He needs 19 points for the rest of this game. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, for the rest of we got 12 minutes to get this man 19 points.
Yeah.
All right. What are we going to do? That means that every rebound we get, kick it to 13. That means that every time we could do it in a way that forces that says everything's going to be legit. You're going to get everything legit.
Points in the fourth quarter, by the way, by fouling him and slowing everything down that way.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we could have, like, hey, we're up 35, timeout. Let's get Bam some rest. I don't even need to call a time. I don't even need the timeout. Let's call a timeout.
The problem was
get him some Gatorade.
At halftime was like, no, we're going for this. We're doing this.
Yeah.
It's like having a quarterback throw for 300 yards in the first half. We're gonna go for 6.
Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, Miami, you said that's why I said when you blame Washington, you said like there's no ethical way to do it. There's an ethical way to do it. Washington, go ahead and try. We're going to actively do everything possible. If we're Miami, we're going to actively do everything possible.
And we're just going to double team them.
And we're going to run triple screens. We're going to play Steph Curry ball with this dude. We're going to do everything possible to get him the opportunity to win it in a legitimate, real way.
Yeah.
The free throw line crap, the 17 free throws at the end of like that to me is just egregious on so many levels. And because of that, and because of the controversy that comes with that, that's the reason why it doesn't feel right.
That's the Wizards.
Shout out to Bam. I'm happy for Bam. I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm not happy for Bam. And is probably his relationship with Asia Wilson is probably one of the most wholesome relationships. I love watching them together. I think they're yeah, I just love watching them together. I love when he was there for her, when she won the championship.
I showed that to my daughter.
Great.
By the way.
You know, so I'm happy for him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm genuinely happy because he's not going to win a championship this year. Like, that's not going to happen.
But
he's not going to win a scoring title.
To all the Miami fans who were like, they're tanking again, they got themselves out of the play-in with that win. They're now in the 6th seed. No play-in for Miami. No Miami Invitational.
Yeah.
Out of the play-in. And they might actually chase down the 5 seed if Orlando keeps losing.
But he's not. I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is going to be the highlight of his season, of his career, everything for Bam. I mean, and Bam played in the finals before, so it's not to say that
block against Jason Tatum is pretty nasty. That's what I remember him for. He just met his.
So again, it has nothing to do with him. It's the Wizards, and it's the NBA, and it's like.
But there's NFL teams that are like this. Remember when Miami Dolphins dropped 70 on Denver? In a regular season.
But that's a team thing.
Yeah,
that's a team thing.
They stopped throwing,
and Denver was trying.
They stopped throwing the ball, and they still ran for like 6 more touchdowns.
Right, and Denver was still trying, but Denver was trying. They were just trash. They just couldn't stop anything. You see, that's what I'm saying.
They were just bad. They were naturally bad.
If it feels like the other team is genuinely trying and they're just trash, then I'm okay with this.
Aren't you a Steve Spurrier guy? If I can score 70, I'm gonna score 70.
Exactly. Okay. But that means that if the guy on the other side is so bad that I can score 70, then I'm gonna score 70.
Well, then that's the worst.
But if like the worst thing is when you're running, you know, you've seen it like in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Where the guy gets the handoff and they basically stay out of his way because they want him to score the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So the defense just stays out of his way. And then he goes and probably lays down on the 1 yard line to like run out the clock or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
That type of thing, that's not football.
No.
And if that were to happen, like to me, this would be the equivalent of, you know, what's the biggest record in the NFL? Like,
I think it's probably the rushing record for is it season or individual game?
Season. So that season is 21-25.
It's 21-25.
That's Dickerson, right? So like, it would be the equivalent of that.
What people don't realize is OJ did that in 14 games. Dickerson did it in 16. Saquon matched it in 16, but everybody now is going to have 17 games to do it.
So
soon,
just think about that. 17, you know, week 18, you know, you got a guy, let's say it's, you know, Bijan Robinson, and he's, you know, 70 yards from the record.
Yeah.
He's got the ball on Atlanta's 22-yard line, gets a hand. There's, you know, 3 minutes left in the game. Atlanta's up 14 points. Like, there's no chance of the other team coming back, or even if there's whatever.
You're up by 21 points. It's the middle of the fourth quarter. Y'all ain't got
middle of the fourth quarter. You're down 21, 24 points. It's over, right? Yeah. Atlanta gets the ball on the 22-yard line. Bijan gets a handoff to the left side. Defensive tackle's got a beat on him, and just
that would never happen.
And just whiffs.
No,
pulls back, and Bijan makes a move and goes to the house and gets the rushing title. For that, it would feel so.
It would feel cheap. It would feel wrong.
Cheap.
Yeah.
It would feel so wrong. If you watched it and you knew it happened, it would just feel wrong. That's what this felt like. It felt like people were like, "All right." Yeah.
That's why I enjoyed in college, because you know those guys are trying as hard as they can. They're just playing against someone who's so much better than them.
Right. If I play you, if I play you,
Patterson, who ripped off like 8 touchdowns, and then I think my school won by like 10 or 12 points or 21 points. I'm like, you scored 7 or 8 touchdowns and ran for like 600 yards in a game, and it was the COVID year, so it was even weirder because we only played like 7 games to be what it is, and then he ran for like 600 in one of them, so he was leading the nation in rushing for like 2 weeks. Shout out to him, still in the league, keeping getting them checks. But I hear your point, but that doesn't happen. Like, Washington did everything they could to muck it up and not let him get to the record. I am here to celebrate it. You're not a hater because you're not a Kobe's fan. You're not from, Kobestani. like everybody else who was mad at Bam. I get some of
Yeah.
LA, but like Clippers fans, stand up. Like, have some respect for yourselves. Also, this is what Kobe records may be broken. Also, it was second place. It's not the record. It's just the record that we saw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like David Thompson had 70 something points in the 70s. I don't really
73.
remember that. The fact that
Yeah.
Will Chamberlain scored 70 points or more 5 times is insane. The 100 is just,
Right.
it happened in 62, wasn't on TV, radio recording, yada, yada, yada. To me, my favorite scoring record was David Robinson doing it the last game of the season just to beat out Shaq for the scoring record. Because that is pettiness, and that was beautiful. Because that means he could have done it whenever he wanted against the Clippers.
Right.
Because that was when it was trash back in the mid-90s. He could have went off for 60 or 70 every time he played them. And he was just being nice.
All I'm saying is if I'm Luka,
Luka had 77, yeah.
If I'm Luka, if I'm like, who are the best scorers in the league right now? Who are the guys that are the best scorers in the league?
Harden, KD, Anthony Edwards, Spider, Brunson, Towns, Banchero.
Yeah. Well, so I'm not gonna count the Knicks, but I'm gonna say if I'm Luka, if I'm Spider, if I'm Ant Edwards, if I'm one of those guys, when Washington comes to my team, when Washington comes to my home, I'm looking at everybody in the locker room and I'm going 90, son. I'm going for 90. I'm going for 90 tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm telling, like, if I'm Luka, I'm walking up to everybody in the room. I'm telling you, Austin Reeves, you ain't shooting a shot tonight. I'm telling you this right now. I'm playing these dudes and I'm going for 90 because if Bam can get 83, I can get 90.
Do you think that this is what well, I'm convinced that Wemby's going to get 100 because he's a 7'5" guy who can shoot threes. So you're going to need to go to the line a million times, which you can foul him easy. And also, he can hit threes on you. So Bam hit 7 of 22. He could probably get a game where he gets high and go 10 for 20 from 3-point. That's 30 points right there. Then the rest of them just come in the paint. Just keep dunking on people from outside the lane and shit. 5 steps away, just 2 steps to him.
I don't see Wemby being selfish enough to do it.
Oh, they're gonna play a team like somebody's gonna be tanking in the future. They're gonna be playing like Memphis or something in a couple of years, and he's just gonna go off if they're still leaving in the Western Conference. Or it doesn't matter; they'll just be in the East. They'll just be unlucky enough to have them visit, and then he's just gonna go off and destroy them. Wemby,
my money's on Luka. My money's on Luka.
Nah.
If anybody were to do it, my money's on Luka.
Because he'll just keep shooting with no remorse.
Oh yeah, he's never gonna. He won't stop.
Or Jokic. Jokic is the best offensive player I think we've ever seen. You know who I want to do it? I want Russell Westbrook to just go off for 50 on some just because shit. Because you know why? You already got mad at the media. Give him a positive reason to talk to you.
True.
Go off and have a 50-point triple-double. I know you could do it. I know you've done it so many other times. Do it now. Go ahead. Who cares? No, they're not lighting the beam. Let them light the beam for that. And do it against the Lakers next chance you get. Because LeBron's going to be sitting out these games at the end anyway because they're still in the 3-4, in the top 4. So do what you got to do. Just shoot 45 shots and get 60 points on them. Who cares? Who cares if you win even? Just go for 60. Just do it. Just go for it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
So quick question, and then we can move to the next thing, whatever we're talking about.
March Madness.
Before the 83.
Yes.
Was Bam Adebayo a Hall of Famer, in your opinion? Before the 83.
How many years into his career is he? Like 7?
I want to say he
got drafted in 2018, right?
7 or 8.
With Brunson.
No, he's been here since before Brunson.
Nah, he got drafted when Brunson did. Brunson got drafted in 2018, I want to say. 2018 draft class, or am I tripping?
Brunson in the 2018 draft class. I think
he is.
I think Bam's been around
3 years
longer.
in college.
Oh, so he's a year before, 17-18. So he's been in the league since 2017. He's 9 years in.
Okay.
So 9 years in.
Before the 83-point game, if he kept going like this defensively and averaging 18 and 10?
He's career-wise.
Yeah.
He's 16 and 9.
16 and 9.
With just under a block a game.
Okay.
But he's a 3-time All-Star. He's a 3-time All-Star. I don't know about how many All-NBAs he has. Let me see.
Probably
Does
got
he
like
have an
one
All
or two,
NBA?
second and third team. He's
Maybe
never
he's
been
got
first
one or
team.
two
I
All
know that.
NBAs.
He's
He's
eligible for a
got
Supermax, though.
Defensive Player of the Year, top 5 Defensive Player of the Year pretty much the last 4 or 5 seasons.
But he won a DPOY already, right?
He didn't win a
Never
DPOY,
won.
but
Right.
no, but he's been all defensive first team once. He's been second team twice.
If he could have played like he did for
And
the
he's
past
been-
4 years, for the next 4 years, I would put him in the Hall of Fame because he's part of the reason why they were able to make those 2 runs to the finals.
Yeah.
How well he played in the bubble. That defense against Jason Tatum was amazing. The defense that he played against Giannis was amazing. That's what got them by Milwaukee. That's what got them by the fact that he's able to do that and still score 20 points is amazing to me. Very few players could do that. If he could have just averaged 17, he was averaging 18 points this year. If he can just step his averages up to about 18, 20 for the regular season, then 25, 26 in the playoffs, then yeah, he's a Hall of Famer because he scored 10,000 points and he's probably going to play it under 8 years. So he'll probably get to 22,000. And for a guy that's mainly known for defense, scoring 22,000 points as a center, it's impressive. He'll have an opportunity to win a title.
He will. I don't know if he'll win it in Miami.
I think this makes him a perennial All-Star now. He should have been this year if he wasn't on the All-Star team.
Yeah, no, he's a 3-time All-Star.
But I don't know if he got voted in this year. I don't know if he made it.
No,
because he's definitely not that
he
popular.
didn't make it
He
this
didn't
year.
talk about himself a lot. But what's really cool is him and his girl both have the active scoring records for the respective leagues.
Yeah.
So American basketball is in good hands now and in the future. So, just saying.
I mean, shout out to Bam. He's not the best player in his house, though. So,
get out of here with that. Okay,
he's not.
He's not like all of the other WNBA fans. Okay,
he's not. Asia is a better women's basketball player than Bam is a men's basketball player. That's all I'm saying.
Points, she scored 53, but she did 40 minutes, so that's fair.
Relative to exactly, she plays a shorter game.
They should extend the women's game. I don't know why they don't.
Yeah, just give her 8 more minutes.
She probably put up 60.
I think she's dropping 60. I think she's clearly capable of dropping 60.
Oh yeah. Someone's gonna go for the record. Caitlin Clark or somebody's gonna go for the record. I'm just waiting for him to have a 30-30 game, 30 points, 30 rebounds, or a quadruple double. That hasn't happened in 30 years.
I hope I'm alive. Long enough to see their prodigy.
Watch your kid grows up to play like soccer or something.
I mean, I'm not family with them, but I would be highly upset about that.
First 6'10" soccer player. Moving on, March Madness. I only know 4 people who are currently playing, and that is AJ DeBansa, whose team lost tonight, Cameron Boozer, whose team won by 1 point against Florida State, and Darren Peterson, who keeps getting hurt in every other game he plays, and JT Toppin, who tore his ACL for Texas Tech a couple of weeks ago, and Texas Tech is now out of the Big 12 tournament. They have a really cool light-up floor. But outside of those 4 players, Malik, have you been paying attention even tangentially to the March Madness?
No, but
Look, nah, not really.
Let's be completely transparent here on this show.
You'll see one Big East game.
No, I do watch the Big East.
Okay,
I do like the Big East tournament. I do still enjoy that. To
UNC
some degree.
is currently losing to Clemson. Whatever that's worth.
But but here's what I will say.
Yes.
Once the bracket is set, like once we know who's playing, right? I do pay a lot of attention. I do a deep dive into the bracket to try to do as best as I possibly can and predict some of the outcomes of the games. So when we record next week,
your guy Tom Izzo is number 8 in the country with his team. Sorry. What?
I will and I've always loved Michigan State. Always loved I love to root for them. I love to root for them in the tournament.
Yeah.
Because I just like the way they play.
Well, you like to foul people too. So you also have that.
What's that?
You like to foul people.
They play hard, man. They play hard. They play a good brand of basketball. that I like that works for the college game. But
Yeah.
I like to say, like, by next week when we record, which I think we're probably going to want to record like Wednesday next week before the actual games tip off.
Yeah.
By next week when we record, I'll have a pretty good idea of who I'm picking and why. And it will be based on more. I've done this before. I will watch a little bit of film. I will read about every team that's in the tournament, at least every, like, the top 8 to 9 seeds in every tournament. I mean,
Yeah.
in every region, I'll read about them just to
Yeah.
get a good feel on them. Because the one thing about March Madness is, like, to me, that first weekend is one of those, like, you never know what's going to happen. But by the end, it's like a 3, a 1, 2 1s, a 3, and a 2. Like, that make
Past
it
couple of years,
to the
yeah, no
Final
no more
Four.
underdogs runs.
Yeah.
Not since
So
SMU.
in the end of the day, like, when you're making your picks, you really, picking against a 1 seed to come out of, maybe a couple of ones
Happened
don't make it out
twice.
or whatever, but
16
you know,
versus a 1. Shout out UMBC.
yeah.
But
So
Howard's gonna make
we'll
it this
see.
year, so I'm rooting for them.
Who, Howard?
Howard University, number 1 in the MEAC.
Okay.
St. John's is really good this year. Kansas is really good this year. Teams I root for. Arkansas, John Calipari, been coaching for about 30-something years now. That's where Dwan Wagner Jr. plays, which makes me feel 1,000, but he might be leaving. Miami of Ohio, undefeated regular season, lost their first game in the conference tournament. That's going to make this conference my school plays in, Buffalo, the MAC, a 2-bid league. Thank you for Miami of Ohio for losing that game. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are real MVPs. And UNC is number 19 in the country, and they're in the tournament. So Duke looks like the best team. Real talk, Duke, Arizona, and Michigan and Florida could all win it. The only team I don't think can is Houston, even though they've been great all year. They're 27-5. I'm looking at the conference standings, but they're pretty good. They're not even the best team in the Big 12, which is Arizona. Arizona can score and defend, so can Duke, and so can Michigan. But Duke beat Michigan in that game in D.C. Was it last weekend or the weekend before? They need to do more of that. One of the highest rated games, I think, in college basketball in like over a decade. Since like Jay Will might have been in there, like 2006 or something. But this tournament, I think, is going to be a special year. I have a couple of upset picks. I'm going to drop them on y'all on Sunday. I'm going to do a show with my pops, who's been picking the tournament since, I don't know, since before they expanded to 64 teams, when that shit was 32. Way, way back in the day in the 70s. But, yeah, man, this has been fun. Thank y'all for listening. Malik, do you have any shout outs?
2 quick shout outs. Number 1, we've been talking about the tourney. I was just looking at a predictor on USA Today, a predictor of potential seeds coming out of, potential seeds. So, they're predicting who's going to be in the bracket. Shout out to Hofstra. Hofstra is looking like they're going to be an actual seed in the tournament. So I haven't heard the name Hofstra University since they waitlisted me for admission into their illustrious school some 20 some odd years ago. I'm not salty. I'm not upset at all. They made me go take a course, and I've learned pretty quickly that I was not going to enjoy life in Long Island at Hofstra, so I didn't. I didn't go there.
Good to see.
But shout out to them. I remember because I remember when they lost their football program, and they no longer had a football team. And I remember that. I still remember the name of the school, the Flying Dutchman.
They've changed their name to the Pride.
Yeah. So, like, I remember when they were the Flying Dutchman, which I don't want to go to the school simply because of the name of the name of their teams, honestly speaking. but shout out to them. My favorite player was Speedy Claxton. Remember Speedy Claxton played for them?
He's the head coach, yeah.
And he's the head coach now. So it's like, shout out to them now, because I did with St. John's and Hofstra for me, growing up as a kid watching basketball. And Hofstra wasn't even in the Big East, were they?
They never were. They were in the Colonial, and now they're in the Coastal, which the Colonial changed their name, I think, or something.
Yeah.
get more money.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Good conference.
yeah, so shout out to them for making it. And then just shout out to all the NFL free agents. Shout out to everybody that made some bread
Yeah.
this during this free agency cycle.
Legends at the bank.
A lot of guys got paid a lot more money than I thought they would have.
Yeah.
And the
Out of the
NFL
salary
teams
cap going
finally
up.
opened up the bank. You know, Kenneth Walker, did he reset? I don't think he reset the market at the running back position, but we've got running backs making $15-16 million a season,
Yeah.
which, you know, 5 years ago was unheard of. You know, we've got a lot of teams making moves and trying to put themselves in position to be successful. My Lions are doing absolutely nothing, which I guess is what they want to do. I don't know.
Trust in Brad.
But I do. I trust Brad. I do trust Brad. I believe in him. But yeah, so shout out to the NFL, you know, players out there, you know, getting money and resetting their careers and resetting their financial fortunes. So good luck to all of you, and looking forward to next season. So yeah.
Shout out to the Ravens, my other team, for getting it done and finally getting a good pass rusher by any means necessary. I like how y'all did that. Said, yeah, come over here. And then Vegas said, let's sign all these people. And then they have to bring that guy back and eat up all that salary cap space. But it doesn't matter because they're going to have a rookie quarterback anyway. So it is what it is. They stuck. Shout out to all the running backs that got paid. Shout out to all the receivers that got paid. It's never more than you should in the NFL because after that DeMar Hamlin thing, if you're making less than $3 million, you're doing this wrong. I'm going to tell you that right now. Get as much as you can up front and get it in writing because you see how they be doing people. They sent a quarterback off who's making $54 million. So who cares? Who cares if I call you a pirate? Daniel Jones, shout out to you. Keep cashing them checks. I may not think you're very good. You're in the NFL. You've won a playoff game. Who cares what I think? I just bet on sports. I don't play them. Okay. I'm not betting on your games right now. So you don't got to value my opinion. And I respect that you don't value my opinion because I'm honest with myself. I look myself in the mirror every day and I say, you know what, self? I know what I'm about and I know what they're about. And I can live with that. Shout out to Bam Adebayo for getting 83 points, for not stopping at 81, for going past second place to get to second. Wilt, Bam, Kobe, 83. Can't mention him without mentioning me. Shout out, salute, we are done. Peace.
Peace.